Random scraps and bits of this, turn them into something you can't miss. Junk journals, tapes, and crafts galore. He'll have you begging, show me more. Oh, Dash of Dave, oh, what a sight. Mixing colors, day and night.
Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here, and I'm back for another crafty video. So today we are going to make an one of these. Now I made this, it's called it the HR file for Margot, and it was when I was making my utilitarian stuff. We're going to make another one of these because this is another one of my sensational 6. Okay, so I really enjoyed making these, basically because it was based on an LMU, which is a smaller version of this. Think about half the size, half the length. No, sorry, half the size, half the height, and about 2/3 of the length. An LMU is a piece of stationery that I used to use when I worked for the government. Okay, so the UK government. So it was called a labour market unit, I believe. So it's something that not only did it feel like I was recreating something, but it was a connection that I had to it, and I just enjoyed making it. Now I did have the smaller version, but I think I've put it into a journal and either given the journal away or hidden the journal from myself. So anyway, we're going to make another one of these, but a smaller version of these, maybe a bit longer, I don't know. And yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So I found the original one, well, one of the original ones I made out, but we're going to make another one. So I have got some, so it starts with, it's got a board at the back, so it's meant to be a piece where you can pick it up and write on it, annotate, put all the files in that you need. So these are all like removable, and then it's got some cards in the front here, and we've got some IDs. So this is this is Margot Gerbach's Postlethwaite, who was a character I developed in order to be able to make some stuff around her life. So so there is a whole playlist dedicated to the Margot makes, and I will link that at the end of this video. So we're going to start with a piece of cardboard. This is a piece of grey board, and I want it basically this height, but I'd like it not to be quite so long because I think this is a bit unruly. So I think I might just cut a bit off it. Now I'm just trying to think how. So this is about 6 1/4 high. I'll say about, it is 6 1/4 high, and I'm thinking kind of proportions. I might go to like 11, I think. So let's just say, is that going to be about what I'm thinking about in my head? Yeah. So yeah. So let's go to 11. So we just need to mark where the 11 is. In fact, I could do that with my cutter. Yeah, so yeah, this is one of my, like I say, this is another one of my sensational 6. So this isn't going to cut through this, but what it is going to do is going to give me an accurate line on which I can then cut. So get a scalpel, well, blade, and then I'll leave that down because I'm about to need that. Don't need that, probably won't need that. So, and now I'm going to cut this off. So this is the board for the back. So I'm just going to cut on that line and cut this piece off. And that means that I didn't have to measure because I just used my cutting, what's it called? What's this called? Brain doesn't work. Cutting board, scoreboard, not scoreboard, not guillotine. Yeah, it'll come back to me, but I don't know when. So anyway, that's the size at which we're going to make it, which is pretty much the same sort of size as an LMU was. Might be a little bit shorter and a little bit less high and a little bit shorter. But I can't really remember. I can't really remember the exact proportions. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to make this part of it. So This part is this on this one was actually just an envelope, but we're going to make ours. So I was thinking I'd quite like it to be a bit decorative, you know, this time round. So for that is not going to, although it doesn't need to be long enough because we don't see all the way into the pocket. I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go for a bit more of a decorative rather than a thing. I'd love to tell you what I'm talking about, but I have no idea. Rather than a utilitarian style. So I'm going to make it a little bit. Oh no, let's cut the very end of that off first, so that we have a nice straight edge at the end, at the top. I mean, oh, except for I know that this blade is not cutting brilliantly at the moment, so maybe cut it in using that. Does that give me a straighter edge? I guess it would do if I could actually cut the bit off. Yeah, so this is another one of my favourite makes. I really enjoyed all of the utilitarian stuff, to be fair. I'd love to kind of revisit that, and I will at some point revisit kind of making utilitarian stuff. The only problem for me is I don't know whether I've got any more ideas for it, and it kind of dried up because of that reason, and I didn't want to just keep making the same things over and over again. I mean, I guess if I just gave it a shot, I probably could come up with some new ideas for it, but you've just got to have that confidence to do it. So we're going to go with 6 1/4. Is that what I said that was? 6 1/4 high. I was looking for a ruler. There's one here, Dave. So if I go for 6 1/4 high, yeah, 6 1/4 high is going to be the same, yeah. So let's go 6 1/4 and cut that at 6 1/4. Actually, let's do it properly, Dave, and measure. So pencil, 6 1/4 inches is there. 6 1/4 inches is there, and 6 1/4 inches is there. So if I cut those, that should give me the right size, and that'll be our backing piece. I know it's got a bit of a rough edge. Actually, I quite like that rough edge, you know. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave the rough edge. And then if we make the rest of the front envelope, shall I make the rest of the front envelope with this? So I'm thinking about this piece here, but I don't want to. I'm going to put another piece on like this to make a pocket, but I don't really want to cover all of that up. So maybe I just use a piece at the top. So how big do we want the piece covering bit? Let's just use a piece of paper. So just thinking about proportions wise, is that too big? Yeah, a little bit too big. I think about that kind of size. Okay, which is what? Oh, 4 1/4. Don't know how I managed to do that. So if we go 4 1/4 wide, do 4 1/4, and we won't have the whole thing that way. Although, I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? So I've got loads of this. It's not like I don't have any more. So let's go 4 1/4. And I'm just going to do the whole thing, and then even if I do stick things over the top of it, it's fine, because because I have more of this. So, one of the pep-in papers that I have. So I have the so if you're interested, I'm not sure whether you are, but if you are, you will be shown the delight. So this is it's called Flora. It's a pep-in paper. It's actually wrapping paper, and it comes like this. And when you tear it out, it opens out. So one of these is just a quarter of it, so it opens out into more. And that's what this is. But then that's been coffee dyed as well, so to give it a bit more of an authentic aged look. I love it when I do authentic and it's not actually authentic. So I'm gonna put some, maybe put some ordinary paper on the back of this, just so that I get a full measure. So let's get this. So we don't even need to measure this, we can just put this on here and kind of draw around it. I don't even need to draw around it, I could probably just cut around it like that. So I will, like I say, link the original video, but I'll also link the utilitarian stuff. I just think it's a fraction too big. Take this end off. Is it a fraction? Is it the right size now? Is it a fraction too tall? Don't think so. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Just going to go a tiny bit down. Is it even the right? Hasn't lost its, not orientation, what's the word? Can't think. Words escape me. Yeah, I think it's slightly out. I think it gets slightly wider that end than it does this end, so I'm just going to take a sliver more off there than I am off here. And then put that on there. Yep, that's cool. Okay, so that is going to stick to there. Like that. In fact, I don't mind having it as a separate flippy up piece, to be fair. And I will stick this down to here. Just want to make sure that this is also right. No, it isn't. It does need to be made a little shorter. It doesn't hang out. It hangs out the end of there. Cool. So bring this back in, put that on. That's going to go right to the end. Well, not right to the end, but back to about there. Yeah, actually the other way around, because that's got a less white end. So, in our game, we don't want it to look new. If you're making cards and stuff, you want the paper to be kept nice and clean. I think that's the reason why I abandoned being a card maker, because I wasn't very good at keeping the paper clean. So my junk journaling was perfect for me. So I'm just going to glue it down like this, and then that way then it forms a kind of a pocket. So if I'm putting stuff behind it, it goes as far in. Oh, except for we don't want it to go all the way, do we? because we have a bit where we're going to put some holes. So I'm going to put a line here. The holes can go within that space there. Oh no, of course, doesn't matter. Anyway, fine. It's not going right to the end. It's this one that I'm going to do that with. But we're not going to glue it down. So that's the background. And then we're going to wrap this bit around it as like a pocket. So it's going to sit there. Yeah, so in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the ink the edge, so you can definitely see the edge of this. I did buy some more of these, but I'm using this is nicely inked up. It's got a lot of brown already soaked into it. It's not just going to be sucking up all of the ink. And I'll keep using this one until it falls apart, but I've got more now. And also these, all of them, I don't know about that one. No, these ones I put through the wash, so I didn't put anything in with them, don't worry. So that should give you a nice indication of where that one ends and that starts. Yeah, it does. Okay, so we now need it to kind of sit around it. So let's put, no Dave, a line there. A line there. And a line here. Cool, and then what we'll do is we'll just snip that corner away. And that corner away. And then we will kind of score that line so it folds nicely. I'm not going to put it on a scoreboard. I'm going to just do it under pressure. Ding, 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 ding. Sorry, could I have a swig of something? That's what I want, is it? No, that's not got a ball on the end. Everything's gonna fall off. All over. Right, there. It's a ball tool. Is there a smaller ball tool? There is, but it's been contaminated with something. Oh, right there. That's better, yeah. So I'm just going to score along this line. That's interesting. That's not the same line all the way down. Sorry, just getting that in the right place. So I'm just going to run that ball tool along there, to break the fibres, tell the paper where to fold. Same with this, just there, and then this side. And then just fold that. Yep, perfect. And that, yep. And then that, and that should then wrap around the back of this. Put this on here. We want it on this end. Let's just make sure everything's the right way up. Yep. So then that's going to go around the back of there. Yep. Flip that over over and stick it down. And then I'll do this side actually first, I think. I'll help it keep it flat. Yep. Put that over. Yeah, so the thing I loved about this was the fact that it was something that had existed in my past. Something I'm sure they don't use anymore. I'm sure they're not as old-fashioned as that to use paper in the government. They've probably gone completely digital by now. So yeah, so once I'd made that kind of utilitarian one, I kind of thought, oh, I'd like to make one that's a bit more decorative. But I was doing the utilitarian season at the time, so it made sense to carry on doing that. So that goes on there, and then we're going to have something on the front of here, I think. I was thinking, so these, oh, would that just be perfect if it fitted there? And look, it kind of does. So this is a US billing envelope. We don't get these in the UK. Not like this. You don't get ones with double windows. Very, very, very rarely it would be on something like a circular that says that you've won. Like you could be involved in the postcode lottery and win hundreds of thousands of pounds, and actually it's not true. Cut it with this. I still can't remember what this is called. The cutty thing. The cutty sark. It's paper trimmer. That's what it is. It's paper trimmer, Dave. So I'm going to cut it about there. And I think I'm going to cut... I want to cut that bit off, or do I want to cut it? Do I want to cut it off, or do I want to cut it? So if I cut it off and I have it so that you can see the things through it, maybe do that. Maybe cut the front bit off. Yeah. So let's do it like this. You know, when you've got a knife that's sometimes too sharp, you actually end up cutting bits that you weren't expecting to. That's what the problem is. I just had a thing I can't find. Doo-dah. Let's up that. I haven't just had it. I had it in a previous video. Oh, look. It's an avalanche. I don't know where the lid's gone to that now. One of these has gone somewhere and I do not know where it's gone. So it's just gonna have to be gone. Yeah, I don't know where the lid to that's gone. That's one. That one's got a lid. Oh, hang on. No, that's the lid to that. That one's there. That's fine. It didn't go anywhere. It was just there. So this is what I wanted to do: is cut this open with this. I might just peel that off there. That's going to then stick round the back. I was going to say peel off. I'll just tear it then, Dave, shall I? Doesn't really make any difference. You're not going to see it much. Well, if at all. And then I think I just want to make so it needs to have, I think it needs about that much off that side, and it needs about that much off that side. just going to go for it. No measuring. That's about right. And then that bit down there. Again, eyeballed. Just cut it off. So that will glue on like that, and then we will have, in fact I think I'm going to score that differently at the bottom so that it doesn't have quite so much, so it has a bit like the same border at the top. Is that right? Like that. Just do a line like that and fold it on that line. Yeah, then that can go on the front of there. So am I happy with how that looks, or do I want something on here? Do you know what, I think I might over stamp it. I usually go over the top when I stamp something anyway, so I'm going to over stamp it. Over stamp it. I have a dream, a song to sing. I believe in wonder of a faint. Shh. Don't sing. Do not sing. I think I'm going to just. I quite like that. I wanted it to be more decorative. So, shall I stick this to something and then press it? Yes, that's probably the best idea. Oh dear. No, we have to peel the back off it though. No, let's go for the middle and then it doesn't rock. Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby, rock the boat. Does it kind of fit on there? Oh yes it does, but I might just have to move it over there as well. My love is like a ship on the ocean. Oh, Dave. Josh. Right, what colours are in this? What do we have? I really don't know what kind of colour that kind of stamp. Orange. It kind of goes with that though, doesn't it? That's brown. That's burgundy. Well, it's got some burgundy in it as well. Do you know what? I'm going to go with that orangey thing. Doesn't have red, not punchy red anyway in there. So let's go with that. And stamp that over it. Move that out of the way. Don't stamp it on your finger, Dave. In fact, I probably should do a stamp on something first. Stamp it on here. Have anything left of that? No, I don't. Although I could make something left of that. So I'd like to know where you got the notion. Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat, don't tip the boat over. Because it's a new stamp, I want to see how it stamps first, and also you should always kind of season your stamp. Yes, I like that. That's fine, we will do that. It just kind of helps to, kind of takes the manufacturing process off it. It's not very flat. Let's see if we can make it flatter by stamping on it, or let's put some in the background. I had some cardboard. Here it is. Let's put that on there and put this on the top. Now I know it's going to stamp over the window, but I think I should be able to rub it off the window. And if I can't, then it'll just be over the window. A bit of cardiac massage. Oh, that's stuck on there. Cool. And then I think I'm just going to put another, that's the leading edge. Put a bit down there. And put that on there. Oh yes, perfect. Nicely done. So, then, do I have the fingers for it? I do. Just wipe it off the window itself. In fact, flip that over so you can see it. If it gives it a bit of a streaky tone or whatever, I'm not worried. That's cool. Okay. So this is going to go on here. It's going to slip round the back there. And then we will glue either side. Should I glue it? Or should I go for that kind of like a bit of a twist of slightly utilitarian but not overly utilitarian? I could, if I could find it. I was looking for something. Use that, I guess. I was looking for my brown paper. I've got a roll of brown paper. I don't know where it is. Maybe I could use some of this. Let's just see what this looks like. Tear that off. I don't have the brown paper I was looking for. This is not the brown paper you're looking for. I thought I might be able to use that down there to stick. But I don't have enough of it. Although I could just tear a bit more of this off here. No, let's pull the corner off. And then put that bit down there. Yeah, I'll do that. Just kind of extends it, so let's take that off and make it the same length. So we go to there, to there. I might just tear it, so I'll pop that on there. Tear that off, that's that one. And then do the same on this, so this is going to be this way round. This way to here. Oh, torn edge. So there, to about there. I don't know why I'm being quite so accurate on this, because this one overlaps anyway, so there we go. Cool. So I will put a tiny bit of glue down the edge of here. And then stick that to it. maybe, oh Dave, before you do that, maybe a good idea to kind of just emphasise that as being a different piece. Changing your mind when you've got wet glue involved, not a good idea, but hey. That down there, and then that on there. Just realised how close to my 12th chin my my microphone is. As far as you can hear anything, it's muffled by the 12 chins that were muffling it. So that there, and then we'll do the same on this edge, and then we'll just overlay the two. In fact, we might start up there. Oh, again, done it again, Dave. Put that bit down first. Just on that edge. Stick that down. So stick it right down to the bottom first, and then where it overlaps, put a bit of glue on the bit that it overlaps on. Okay, so and then if we are very careful, and I mean very careful because this is very delicate paper, we just put a line down there. It should make it fold nicely. It does. Do the same on this side. And then fold that. And that should all sit nicely round there. So that's going to go on there, like that. Oh, actually, do you know that didn't stamp at the bottom there? And then, actually, no, that's right. That's folding around there. That's why. It's alright, sorry. Just I'm talking to myself. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't listen to me. I don't know why you should. This would have been easier to stick on it had I not stuck that down first. But, just because it isn't easy, that means we're not going to do it. So if it was easy, it'd be so easy. Everybody would be doing it, and we don't want everybody doing it, do we? We want to be revered as the artists in our field. We want everybody taking up our art. They probably have their own art that we can't do. So, like my sister, absolutely fantastic at cake decorating. So my sister Charlotte, who is closest in age to me, so Charlie as she prefers to be called, she is brilliant. She can make things, she can decorate cakes and stuff. She can make the cake as well, which is great. So she is very good. So and she's a great drawer as well. I can't draw, but I can make bits of paper look old and interesting. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters, that we all have our own thing. We have our own uniqueness. So that down the back. I actually love the backs of them because they do look very utilitarian. So that's going to go on there. Should have put probably a dirty leading edge, but I forgot. It's what happens when your brain's not really in it. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to have a nice big number stamped on this bit here. I'll say a big number, but as many numbers as we can fit on there. So those two end ones could do with being blank. These two. Not that one. That one. So all of these. Yeah, it's fine. So we'll use black for that because it'll stand out nicely. No, that's not black, Dave. That's definitely not black. That's red. So stamp that along. That bit where it's kind of just bled over, I'll just flip them round. Put that number on there. Cool, that's great. And then we'll attach that. Let's put that. So we need some holes in it. So we'll have one. So one's going to have to go through this. So let's find my little punchy of wholeness. It's going to go like that. So ideally there should be the same distance both ends. Ideally you should be able to see through the hole as well. Can't get that out. Why won't it come out? Do I want this one? Is this the side I want? I don't know, but I feel like I need to get that out of there now. There we go, got it out anyway. So do I want this size? No. That size. Right, we're going to do the same distance from the ends. That one. That one. Cool. Let's make it nice and vintage on those holes. I'm just going to make it a bit vintage on that edge, and on that, definitely on that bottom edge. And of course we want it on there as well. So obviously this is a different version of the LMU I made last time. So the last time I did it so it was, when I made one this size, I made it so it was a standard width apart for a hole punch. This time I'm not worried. I'm leaving it like that. I'm going to leave that separate. I was going to glue them down, but I think I'm going to leave it. I am going to just emphasise that edge with a bit of nice dark crusty walnuts. I do have one that's very similar colour in my artistry ink one, but I can't remember. It's not crusty walnut. It's not like this one is. Can't remember. I don't think it's anything to do with twigs either. So I always think it should be a 2-word name, but like that one in the artistry ink is only called avocado. So yeah, the rest of them are 2 words, like a bit like Tim Holt stuff are. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. I mean walnut stain, not crusty walnuts. That's what I always used to call it. It became a bit of a running joke for a while because I couldn't ever remember what it was called, and I kept calling it crusty walnuts and it became a thing, and now I still can't remember what it's blooming called. Blooming called. Right, so not going to use any of these brightly coloured elastic bands. That one's fine, and that one's fine. Stick them back in there, and then we need a rusty, not a crusty, a rusty paper clip. Would that do the job? Could have it that way around, I guess. I mean, I don't know whether it'll stay that way around. Oh, we've got a nice little one there. That is very rusty. That might disintegrate, to be fair. That might be a bit big. Right, let's go with what we've got. So these two, don't know whether it's going to be big enough. Is it going to be big enough on its own? Potentially big enough. Let's try. Hate the smell of elastic bands. So I'm going to go through here first. If I can get it through here. Do you know why? You know what? I should have used the bigger hole, because the bigger hole is the one that I can actually get the elastic bands through. So I'm going to have to go with that. That's too far. So that's going to go there. And this one will go poke that out. There we go, like that. Right, this time I should be able to get that through. Through there, not through there. And we'll put a thing on the end of there, just to anchor it for now. Stop it going back through the hole. And then that through there. Through there. And grab it this side. And then pull this one down, pull it through the hole and pull it down, put that through on that one, there we go, and then, oh, that's great, because then you've got, exciting, so if we use this is from the last video, we could put that, you can put something else in that bit, oh, like that, that's great. Okay, so, I've got that, so let's put some things away so that I can see the dog see the rabbit and all that. So I might have a nice card, because I love this, sort of the way that this is stained. So I have a little card that sticks out there. So again, we're just going to go with, we're going to have it. Oh no, we don't want it to go right up to there, do we? We want it to go to about there. Pencil line there, and how tall? About to about there. We'll cut that out. Look at these stamps. Where's the other stamp thing? Stick all that together. I'll sort that out off camera at some point. Another day, or week, or month, or whichever is suitable. However I feel. I will get fed up and go, oh, I've got to tidy this up. So I'll have that, and we need to stamp something on that. We'll have another number on there. We'll just do some random turnings of the numbers. If fact, we might have a number so that you can see it through the window. Push that in there. Oh, it might be a little. Oh, it might be a little bit too low, but that does mean then we can use a. Well, not that. Can't use anything from there, but we could use. There's another thing here somewhere. Use one of these. Not that. Don't want to. I could use a metal one, but they're too sharp and they need filing down. Use a little tab on it. Maybe not that one because that's just same. We could use that. That's the same as that. Although no, that just blends in, doesn't it? That one, no. Use one that's different. Maybe that. Yeah, let's use. Let's shoes. Yes. Let's get some shoes, Dave. So if we fold it that way around. There were loads of kids playing out and I can't hear them now, so. Is it tea time? Is that what it is? It's all full and silent out there. Is it like sun gone in? What time is it? Oh, it's 5 to 7 in the evening, so could be tea time. So we'll do a bit of inking around the edge of this. We could do with stamping something on that, but quite what we stamp, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm gonna find out by getting these stamps out of here. No, what have we got on here? Do something that says something. Maybe one of these. Yeah, one of them. That'll do. That will do nicely. That'll do nicely. And then, oh, actually, let's put that on there. Put that back in there. And we want. Can't draw through the window, Dave. So you want to go. Where do we want the number? Maybe in that side. Somewhere between there and the end. That's fine. Just going to put a nice line down here. Just a gentle line for now. If we then maybe have that. Oh, let's have it like that. Yeah, I'm just going to stamp that on with, might use some red this time. That's there. Sorry, very quiet. Thinking. Perfect. So that. Then we have a number down this side. Not in the same colour, Dave. Let's go for that. We'll get this. Stamp that down there. Oh, hang on, let's put it that way around and I can see how close it is to the edge. I love this giant stamp. I heaven only knows who had these made. It's fantastic. Oh, I like the fact that that's not quite a number as well. That's clever. Well, it's not clever, it's an accident, but you know, we think about accidents. They're not waiting to happen, don't worry. They're many a happy accident. So if we have that on there, let's put that. Maybe I should have something on there. Oh dear, you know when like you've got so much piled up off camera? That's what the situation is here. I'm going to do this. Maybe put that on there. Let's do that. Let's go with the same colour, Dave. This is such a horrible ink pad. I got it, well, not free, it was about 50 pence, so it might as well have been free. It's a charity shop, so it's covered in glitter. Put that on there. Oh, perfect! Oh my gosh, that is just perfect. I love that. And then we're going to stick that on there. Yep, great. Oh, I love that. You know, I wasn't sure whether it was going a bit over the top with all the reds, but I love it. And that's going to go in there. I just love that. I do think it needs something over the top of there, though. I think it might need like a flower or something. So, I think there's going to be another avalanche. Craft a lunch, sorry. I want something that's a bit more colourful. What would that look like if that's on there? Don't put it in there, Dave, because you'll lose it, you idiot. I think I want it stuck on that, maybe something like that. No, it's too much the same colourway. I want something that isn't pink or red. No, don't like that. Too new looking. I think white's a bit white, maybe. Pink's that too big and wrong orientation. So, I don't want pink and I don't want white, but I don't think I have anything else. I don't know why I'm singing, 'cause it's not a singy song. I think I found it. Gadzooks, I think I found it. Right, okay, get them off there. Right, there's that yellow one as well, which I will just leave out for the time being, just in case. Put them back in the front of there. Go on, go in. Behave. Thank you. That's definitely going to fall off there. Pink one there, I didn't mean to keep out, but right, in here I have something in a nice cream, yes. That is such a waste of time, that thing. It doesn't hold them in place at all. It's plastic, yep. Need some more of that. antique linen. Is that the newer one? No, it's the old one. Really must get rid of that. That is not working anymore. Oh, antique linen there. Yeah, perfect. That means I don't have to fussy cut it because it kind of blends in now. Put that on there. How about there? If I put that there, that goes in there. Is that about right? Yeah, that's about right. That's where it's going then. Is that right still? Yep, it's fine. Okay, cool. So there's that. So that's going to go in there. Maybe have... Let's turn this into something. So where's my little clippy corner thing? That's that. Which one's... That's a scalloped edge. That's that one. The one I want. No, that's not scalloped. I want that one. Yeah, that one. Right, so on this one we need to have some kind of writing as well, but not mine. I don't want to be writing on here. Oh, where did I keep? But did I put that other one? Put it back. No. What's this? That might have something on it that's suitable. I'll just use that. Don't know what it says. Don't need to, do we? So we'll get this. I know this is terrible. They're just all kind of like stuck to everything. This one does have a backing card somewhere on my desk. It is. It's here. And that's the front card for it. We'll stick that back on. Cool. Okay, so I feel like I've tidied up now, so that's it. That's as much as the tidying gets. So we'll have that, and we will... I'm just going to quickly tear an aperture. So I just need some not waste paper, but some scrap paper. Some of this. So get a piece of this. I'm gonna just put this. I'm just playing now. I don't expect things. So if I cut this out, in fact I don't really need to cut those bits out in the corners. I can then just tear a bit out of here. No, I can't. Oh, maybe I can. I know you weren't all wondering what the heck I'm doing, so you just have to wait. Patience is a virtue. Like that. Is that more interesting side it is. We're going to stick that on there. Like that. Then I'm going to stamp the ink this up. What shall I use on this one? What shall I use? I'm going to use some brown. Shall I use some browning down? Again, I should stamp this off on something first. Maybe a piece of this paper that I've just torn. Butchered. I say torn, I mean butchered. I can always use it now. Now stamp something on it. Perfect. I'm going to stick it on something as well. Put a lid on that. Put that in the background. Oh no, let's leave that. Yeah, let's get that. No, not that. We've got I've got a piece of paint cardboard, haven't I, somewhere there. Everything that was over there has gone over there, and vice versa. Put that on there, and then we're going to go like that, and we're going to press that down. I think I moved it. I did slightly, but never mind. There we go. That's what that did. Just gave it a frame. So, and then we can just ink round here. The desk is getting a mess, I mean, it is a mess. That can go in there, and then I'll put something else in there, I don't know, and then we can have things that go in the back there, so we can just have some pieces of paper. Let me just, sorry, just picking things up off the floor. Have piece of that. I don't know, maybe not that. So we'll have a very poorly folded piece of paper. Go in there. Can have a piece of this, but we're going to make it just tear it down a bit. I'd like to know where you got the notion. Rock the boat, baby, rock the boat, tip the boat over. Again, a bit of, no, not that one. Bit of this. One more piece of something in there, something else go in there. What can we put in there? Perfect. How about something about a house? Ink the end of that. Certainly on the bits that you're going to see. we go. Cool, so that's a nice, let's just tidy this up. Okay, so I've had to tidy up and we're back. So this is my inspiration. So this was made as part of the utilitarian things that I was making for my character Margot, who worked in an office. So her makes are under Margot's makes. They're all utilitarian type stuff. I think there's 31 videos in there. That playlist will link at the end of the video, so there's a title card at the end of the video that you can click on, and it'll link you to it. You'll be able to look at those videos if you want to. And then this is my remake of the same kind of thing. So it's similar source size to an LMU that I used to use back in the day, and this is what we've got. So I've just put a few more extra things in here. So I've put this in here. That was the original stamp off that I tried for this particular stamp. This is the one where I put a frame of just torn paper around, so that it didn't go all the way to the edges. I made a little card to go in there with just a bit of decorative flowers on there. And then in here, all I've done is I've put in, that was the bottom of this, sorry, that was the top end of this envelope. So I've used that, just put that in there because it's just something else to put in there. I've got just a couple of bits of paper in there, and there we go. And then of course you've got that extra space at the back, so you can either journal on there or you've got another pocket to tuck some extra things in. And then that's our little clip. It's just a paper clip. It's just a modern paper clip made to look old, because I do a lot of rusting stuff. So there you go. So I hope you like that. I hope that's something you might give a try of, either whether you make the original version, so the Gerbacks. I think I made an LMU actually, I think, as well. If I can find the link to that video, I'll put that in the description. I'll find the link to this one as well, put that in the description, and of course the playlist will be linked at the end of the video as well. So yes, I hope you enjoyed that. That's another one of my sensational 6. I really enjoy making those. They're just a bit different. I think that's why I like it. And anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Dash of Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, folks. Lots of love. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye.